Okay, to get to the oil filter, you have to, this will be up here like that, but there's four 12 millimeter bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it'll be up like this, and then it'll automatically hang down freely so that you don't have to mess with it. And then you'll get under, right in the center, you'll see this black thing with a square and what looks like a 3/8 ratchet will fit in there, but I think that'll only drain out the oil in the housing. It won't take off the whole housing, and that's where you got to use the special tool that I have. Starting to drip a little bit. Just gonna take this out. Okay, so the reason you want to change out your oil filter housing on your 5th gen 4Runner is the one from the factory is plastic. This 4Runner has about 80,000 miles on it, and this is the part that came out. And is what's supposed to be is there's supposed to be a tab here, and there's actually supposed to be a tab over here, but you can see that one is broken off. So the previous owner or the dealership or oil change place broke that off. So that's one reason why you want to upgrade to this metal one. Also with the metal one, you lessen the chance of, if you over tighten it, of actually cracking the housing and then having a leak there. And then this is the piece that took it off. It's an oily mess right now. So is what you want to do is, this came out of the factory one. You're supposed to double check the lengths on these, and it actually looks like they are the same length. I'll verify, use a tape measure and verify. I've seen other users where this was shorter or longer, and you want to put whatever's in your factory one back in this one. Let's see, this piece also came out of there. So what I learned is this is actually a valve up in here. So you can drain that out, and in your oil filter, when you order a new one, you get this little drain. This drain will screw up in there, and then it'll actually drain out the oil, and then you don't make a big sloppy mess like I did. So is what you want to do when you get this new housing, like I said, verify that that is the same size. If it is, you don't have to do anything. You can move on to the next step. You have a factory new O-ring. I just ordered this K&N one. Any filter will do. I'm not loyal to any brands or anything right now. I'm new to 4Runners, so I don't know what's best. I just know a good oil filter and oil is important. I have clean oil in this cap here. I'm just getting it wet, and I'm gonna put it on the housing here. If you roll it, if you do roll it down, you wanna make sure that it's not spun when you're all done with it. Just make sure it's nice and straight on there. And I believe it goes on this part of the ring right there. It's nice and oiled up, and it's not twisted. So what we learned is to get that off, we took a pair of channel locks and grabbed this on and a breaker bar, and we got this little plug off, and that's where your smaller O-ring is gonna go. So right here, same thing, throw a little oil, clean oil if you can, on there. You'll plop that in there like so, and then you'll put the plug back in through it, and then you'll just take this plug and just set it and screw it back in there. I'm sure there's a torque spec, I'll get to that later. And then we did end up having to swap out. This was actually 1/2 inch shorter. So is what I just kind of did is I just kind of pulled it this way and pried up one end, and then it came out. And then to get it in, I just put one end in and just kind of forced it back down in there, and it's in there nice and secure, and it can't come back out. So we'll place our filter in here. I believe it goes either way, and we just got that down in there, and then we will get it on the vehicle. Just go nice and slow. It doesn't like to thread in there very straight. So I just do it hand tight at first, and then you want to get out your torque wrench, and I'm going to look up the specs here in a minute, and we'll torque it to spec. Okay, so you want to tighten the whole oil cap with the tool to 15 to 23. So I have mine set to about 18, which it just clicked, so yep, it's 18. And then that little nut that takes your 3/8 head, that says 7 to 11, so not a whole lot. Most torque wrenches don't go that small, so I'll have to adjust. And this tool is stuck on here, so I'm not sure if I want to recommend this tool yet. I'll let you know after this video. And then that little cap, I'm just going to try to get to 11. There it goes. Just barely clicks on my big torque wrench. All right, so we'll put these 4 bolts back in and get that tightened up, and then we'll check the oil fluid level. I did fill this filter housing like halfway up with oil, just enough so I wouldn't spill it. But when you change the oil and the filter, I believe it's supposed to take 6.5 quarts. So I'll check the oil level and probably just have to add a little bit more.